Friday night. It's a Saturday, and I'm very happy to be here. I say that we are here to read the scripture and learn. So it's First Samuel. We're in First Samuel chapter 14, and the Nathan eats honey. Now the Israelites were in distress that day because Saul had bound the people under the oath, saying, "Cursed be anyone who eats food before evening. Before I have avenged my enemies." So none of the troops tasted food. Saul had declared that no one should eat until evening. The entire army entered the woods, and there was honey on the ground. There was honey. They entered into the forest. Once you enter the forest, there's a lot of honey because the bees, there's a lot of honey because there are many trees, and they make honey in the forest. Are we together? So the entire army entered the woods, and there was honey on the ground. When they entered into the woods, they saw the honey oozing out, yet no one put his hand into his mouth because they feared the oath. But Jonathan, who had not heard that his father had bound the people with the oath, so he reached out the end of the staff that was in his hand and dipped it into the honeycomb. He raised his hand to his mouth, and his eyes brightened. Wow. Then one of his soldiers told him, "Your father bound the army under a strict oath, saying, 'Cursed be anyone who eats food.' That is why the men are faint." Jonathan said, "My father has made trouble for the country. See how my eyes brightened when I tasted a little of this honey. How much better it would have been if the men had eaten today some of the plunder they took from their enemies. Would not the slaughter of the Philistines have been even?" That day, after the Israelites had struck down the Philistines from Michmash, they were exhausted. They pounced on the plunder, taking the sheep, cattle, and cows. They butchered them on the ground and ate them, together with the blood. Then someone said to Saul, "Look, the men are sinning against the Lord by eating meat that has blood in it." "You have broken faith," he said. "Roll a large stone over here at once." Then he said, "Go out amongst the men and tell them, 'Each of you bring me your cattle and sheep and slaughter from here and eat them. Do not sin against the Lord by eating meat that has blood in it.'" Wow. So everyone brought his ox that night and slaughtered it there. Then Saul built an altar to the Lord. It was the first time he had done this. Welcome to this channel. Oh my God. Very, very.